Hey guys, it's Haley here, owner and creator of Haley Bug Art Studio. I'm here today to show y'all a tutorial on how I make these whipped cream toppers. They're super fun, super simple. I really love how they look, especially on something like this where it's just the perfect fit for this design. I hope you guys really like this tutorial. I hope it helps some of y'all out. I'm gonna have my other socials linked below if y'all wanna give me a follow there and tag me if you make something from my tutorials. I'd love to see your artwork. And please like and subscribe and comment below any tutorials you wanna see next. I would love to get y'all's feedback so that I know what you guys wanna see and I can give that to you. I hope we have a lot of fun with this. I hope it's helpful. Let's go. All right, so you will need lightweight spackling. This is the brand I buy. I get it at Walmart. You're gonna need a piping bag with a large tip. Make sure it's the large one like you see here so that it looks more like real whipped cream. You're gonna need a spoon and a cup that you don't care about and these little center things, and I'll show you later how I make those. In a straw. I use this straw just to make the little area for the straw to go in where the whipped cream topper is. And as you can see here, I'm just going to scoop it into this cup and we're going to stir it up. You don't necessarily have to do this step. I like to do this step because the more you stir it, the easier it is to work with. It kind of warms it up. It fluffs it up. It makes it look a little lighter. So I just stir it. You gotta have some muscles for this. Your arm is gonna get tired if you're a weakling like me. And you're also gonna need, I forgot to show, these little bases. I use and these little strong magnets. I got the magnets on Amazon, and then I used one of these little cup holder coaster thing molds to make them. Sorry, I forgot the words. And I already have one pre-made here with the magnets on the lid and on the little base and my little centerpiece there. So now we're just going to go back to stirring this, get it really, really fluffy. And you'll see in the cup that it's already starting to kind of fluff and soften up. And this is what you want. You want it to be more fluffy like real whipped cream. See, now it looks nice and smooth. Stirring. When I tell y'all, my arms get so tired when I do this. Now we're going to get the piping bag together. Just cut the little tip off, put the end in there, make sure it's nice and snug, that there's no space for anything to seep out around it. Just get it real tight in there. Sorry, I'm off frame. I'm not that great at recording. I'm doing my best. I'm learning. All right, you see it's in there nice and snug. Now we're gonna get a tall cup to put it on there. This just kind of makes it easier to fill up the piping bag. So I just put it in there like this so that we can just scoop that spackling right on in there. And you should probably wear gloves while doing this. I honestly should be too, but I just want to put that out there so that I'm not spreading any bad info. It does say on the spackling container to wear gloves and not to get it on your skin. I don't tend to follow the rules, but just so that you're aware, if you are concerned about allergic reactions or skin irritations, wear gloves. I never realize how slow I'm going until I'm doing these voice recordings and I realize I'm just moving like a turtle. Now we're just going to squish it all down to the bottom. We'll get it down real tight, and then you'll twist the top to just kind of lock it all in there. Make sure it's coming out the end. There you go. And now we're just going to get our little lid here with our base already started. The only reason why I do the little base piece is because the spackling does take a really long time to cure when you're doing a whipped cream topper because it's so thick. It's not like if you were to put it on a wall in thin layers and it cures really fast. And so I just like to already have the base cured. So then the only thing that's having to cure once you're done with this is all that outside. It just speeds up the process a little bit, and it's nice to have a base to work with. And we just squeeze it, go around, make it look like whipped cream, and keep in mind that no whipped cream is perfect. And we can always, if you don't like it the first time you put it on there, you can always try again. So here's me, I'm putting some wax paper down because I'm going to do my little centerpieces. Now, I usually make these out of whatever's left over after I make my topper. I'll use what's left in there to make these little small bases for the next time I make a whipped cream topper. I'll already have them done. And you just do a little dollop on each little thing. So now I have these little cinnamon sticks that I made out of air dry clay and painted them. And I'm going to stick those in my little whipped cream topper. And I realized that they were too long, and I don't know what happened to the footage of me trying to put them in. But I messed up the whipped cream topper by trying to place them and they didn't fit. So we're going to try again. So I'm just putting it all back in the piping bag. And I cut the cinnamon sticks in half. As you can see, I cut them in half so that they'll fit. I didn't realize that they were just like way too long to go in there. Mostly because I have that base piece in there that's already cured. So they weren't able to stab, to go in through that. So we're just going to try again. And then we're going to go in with the ones that I cut in half. And here I am putting it all over my skin. Don't do that. You should wear gloves. And so now we're just going to get it going again. And this is a prime example of what I was saying earlier, that you can always try again. Sometimes when I'm making these whipped cream toppers, I have to try over and over again. There was one time that I probably redid the same topper 5 times until I had it how I wanted it. So now we're just going to try again. The only hard thing about this time is that I already used my extra to make my little mini centers. And so now there's not as much in the piping bag, which does make it a little hard to put enough pressure to squeeze it all out. I am no baker. I am not a master at piping. I don't know what happened to my footage of me putting the fake cinnamon on it, but I just use mica powder. If you have mica powder, pick one that's the closest to the color of cinnamon, and you can sprinkle it over the whipped cream. And then after I sprinkled it on there and let everything sit for a couple days, I sprayed a little bit of spray paint over top, clear coat spray paint over top to just seal that powder in. And now I'm going over all of this with UV resin. I use a paintbrush to make sure that the resin gets down in every little crack and crevice. And just make sure everything is covered with a nice coating of this UV resin. Get in every little nook and cranny. Sometimes it's hard, especially around that cinnamon stick. And then we're just going to cure it under the UV light. This typically takes me 2 or 3 go-rounds on 60 seconds. So 2 or 3 minutes to cure, just because there is a lot of little deep spots and things that it's hard to get the light to penetrate into, especially down around the cinnamon or underneath. So you're just going to want to move it around the whole time it's curing. Sometimes I move the light around like you see me doing here. Sometimes I pick it up because I have it on a jar that has a metal lid, so it's magnet to it, and I'll pick up that jar and kind of spin it under there, kind of using my arm like a cup turner. But just make sure you're moving the light around nice and good to get in every little spot. And if you need to and you feel like it's not curing all the way under your light, you can set it outside in the sunlight and just set it up elevated so that the sun kind of gets to every little spot of it, and it'll definitely cure that way. And so now here we are with it all cured on our cup. It's absolutely beautiful. I love how this one turned out. I can't wait to see you guys try this as well. Make sure that you tag me if you try it. Okay,